Nice. Hey guys, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with a deck that we've been playing on stream for a little bit now and really enjoying. This is Turbodeps. Turbodeps is a green-white base deck within the Legacy format that revolves around the Hexmage Dark Depths synergy and also Thespian Stage Dark Depths. This is a pretty sweet deck. This is obviously a faster version of the deck. There is another version of, I guess for Dark Depths in general, you might be well known with lands, which is kind of more a grindy mid-range deck. There's also Slow Depths, which runs things like Mox Diamond and sometimes main deck Dark Confidants or Sylvan Libraries, and has a bit more of a backup mid-range plan. And then there's Turbo Depths, which plays a bunch of fast mana, so Lotus Petals and Elvish Spirit Guides, a bunch of hand disruption in Thoughtseize, Inquisition, and Duress, some protection in Not of This World and Pithing Needle, which is nice. Hey Sork, welcome. And then also some ways to find a land, so Sylvan Scrying, Crop Rotation, and a Elvish Reclaimer, which is nice. Hey MTG, welcome. I know Monday night is a weird one, but I really wanted to get it out because I have a weekend coming up where I'm actually away for 2 weeks after my Thursday stream, so I wanted to get in an extra stream to put on YouTube, and then also to just chill with you guys. It's always nice to play Legacy with some friends, and this should be pretty fun. We've had pretty good success with this deck so far. We had a 4-1 and a 5-0, so hopefully we can keep those results at a high tier and continue this reign with Tom Hep's list, which has been really nice. The deck's super solid. The Rogue Delver matchup is pretty interesting. Usually it's pretty okay. We can kind of just go over the top of them most of the time. But post-board it's a little bit weird with cards like Submerge, which we kind of have to play around. I'm doing a road trip up the Queensland coast. I did have Canada booked at the start of the year, but of course things change, and Canada is off. Hey, I'm Giffy, welcome. So yeah, me and my girlfriend are doing a 2-week vacation up the coast of Queensland. Just like a bunch of Airbnbs, some time in the sun. Should be really cool. I haven't really had a big trip since, I'm gonna say Japan 2018, when I went to GP Shizuoka, and we made it like a 2-week trip. So it's gonna be really nice to just get some time out. But until then, we're grinding leagues, and hopefully coming out okay. The one card that Tom Hep doesn't play is the Sylvan Library. This is just a kind of, a fun of, and a card that I really like in Legacy, especially as a green card. There's a lot of decks still in Legacy that can't deal with Sylvan Library once it's on the field. And a deck like Dark Depths is typically faster than most other decks, so you can be pretty aggressive with how many cards you take off Sylvan Library. Most of the time, you're going to be killing your opponent before they kill you, so Sylvan Library is nice. It also allows you to dig for some cards. You can get it out turn 1 if you really think it's that great through a Lotus Petal over Spirit Guide. But yeah, I'm just a huge fan of this card, so really looking forward to the league. Scoop and Response, welcome. Hope you guys are well. Let's get straight into it. I'll go through some of the sideboarding as we talk. Tom Hep also has a really good sideboard guide together, which is really nice on Google Sheets, which he doesn't have like a cost, or there's no barrier to entry, which is really nice. Nice. Turbodeps, play points, people in chat. It doesn't get any better, let's be honest. How many of you in chat played Eternal Weekend? And if you did, what did you play? What was your record? How did you like the MTGO experience of Eternal Weekend? I played in the Saturday event for me was 7 AM, which is pretty good. I went 0-2 into 6-4, so pretty nice. I saw a lot of people dropped. Up against Walked. I feel like we've played against Walked in the actual Eternal Weekend, speaking of, so this is going to be pretty interesting. I also don't mind this hand. So we have a turn 1 Urborg Spirit Guide Sylvan Scrying for Thespian Stage, and then we have the combo within 2 turns with Not of This World backup, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to keep this hand. To turn 4 kill, turn 1 Urborg, turn 2 Dark Depths, turn 3, or turn 2 Thespian Stage, and then turn 3 Dark Depths, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, there's definitely something about paper that makes it that nothing is nothing's the same. Once you've played paper, especially legacy or vintage, if you're a vintage player, it's tough. I know that Roland Chang was in chat for a bit for Eternal Weekend, and he's a massive fan of just paper Magic, which is more than fair. I believe Roland Chang is also one of the only players to win back-to-back Eternal Weekends, or at least there's like a period where he had it, which is nice. I'm trying to think what the situation was, but yeah, obviously a very nice player, a very good player. See what this Preordain did. Preordain chose to shuffle, and to me that seems that they're on Rogue Delver and they're looking for Wasteland. And I'm probably still happy just to go for Thespian Stage here. My other thought is that if I am trying to play around Wasteland, I could just go Verdant here for a forest, and then try to turn the stage into a forest at some point so it can't be Wastelanded. But then it just opens up Dark Depth so much, so I think I'm happy just to try to jam this. And hopefully kind of just get there with a turn 1 win thanks to the combo. Being on the play helps a lot. Wooded Foothills. Rug is also pretty interesting because I could sorcery speed the Dark Depths to play around Wasteland, but with Oko being so big, I don't really want to do that. We do have Not of This World, which is interesting, so I can play around Oko to a little bit. The only issue is that Not of This World doesn't play around Daze or Force. But I think an upkeep here is fine. There's also consideration for Stifle. I played against a Rug Delver deck that was pretty standard, except it had Stifle in it, which really got me. So maybe there is just a consensus to do it now. There's also to think about something like with Ponder. If they don't have Wasteland and they go to combat with Ponder, they might look for Wasteland with the Ponder. So there's some advantage to waiting till the end of their attack phase to actually go for the combo. Because if they're thinking we won't go off and out in their turn, they might feel like they have a chance to second main play the Wasteland and then have an answer. I think here I'm kind of overthinking it. I think we're just going to go for it now. But it's interesting. I did play Mav at Eternal Weekend. I played Green Black. I played it a little bit differently to something like Achilles, where I had Mother of Runes in the deck as a 2 of, which I did like, which is nice. There's Oko, that's fine. So hopefully this Not of This World sticks. Oh, it does. That's pretty huge. Wow, what's their 5? No counter magic. They can't have Wasteland. I mean, that's just game, unfortunately. Unless they're playing main deck Submerge, I don't see an out for them. So I think, unfortunately, it is, yeah, just a concession. So, luckily, played around Wasteland. They played Oko, and we had the Not of This World. And one other thing about this is... yeah, the nice thing about this is that even if the Marit Lage gets answered, we have Dark Depths Overbook backup, so even a live draw is something like Hexmage, of course, is pretty good. We then also have the green source for Sylvan Scrying or Crop Rotation, so even if the Marit Lage there did get answered, we had a pretty good hand to rebuild, which is nice. Rogue's going to be really interesting, and I'm going to quickly have 2 minutes to get up Tom's sideboard guide, which I have here somewhere. Here we go. Okay, cool. Nice. Ah, of course, Forest is only free if you have a... Submerge is only free if I have a Forest. And a lot of the time, Turbidips doesn't have the Forest out, which is something I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I started playing Turbidips and I was like, there's a lot of times where I just don't have a Forest out, which is pretty nice. So we are looking at Rug Delver. So for Rug, 2 Decays in, out 1 Krakus, out 1 Petal. I like this a lot. Pretty simple. Sylvan Library I probably like on the draw. Sorry, on the play, not so much on the draw. I think that's really it. So Tom goes out 1 Petal, out 1 Caracas for 2 Decays. I think that's pretty solid. I don't like Sylvan Safekeeper because it does turn on Bolt. I think this is, yeah, really nice. There's some thought for Sylvan Library, but I think this is pretty good. Also having Pithy Needle for both Oko and Wasteland is pretty huge in this matchup, so pretty happy. Hey King of Pawners, we're currently in game 1, upper game, which is nice against Rug Delver, which... This hand is pretty interesting. A lot of interaction, which is kind of nice. It is a 1-lander, which definitely puts it behind. But it's also kind of nice because you have an Urborg into Pithy Needle for Wasteland. We have kind of 2 pieces of the combo, but I guess 3 with Hexmage. This is an interesting one. I think I'm okay to keep this one and just see how it builds out, because it has a fair bit of a plan. The only issue is that we have to draw a land in our first 2 turns for it to really grind, and I guess we do have a fair amount of land, so I'm gonna keep this. A little bit high risk, high reward. And wow, just a pass. Okay. Hopefully Needle resolves, because otherwise this is a little bit rough. It does, which is nice. I did play Eternal Weekend. I'll have the video up soon. Oh, they bolted me. Wow, okay. That's aggressive. Yeah, I'll have the video up on YouTube tonight. Played all 10 rounds of the first event. I won't say how I went. I didn't make top 8, of course, but I'll keep the overall prize a little bit of a second Urborg is very interesting. I guess if we draw into a green source, we can crop rotate the first one away, which is nice, but obviously it's not the greatest draw. You went 6-4 with the deck you just made? Very cool. What did you end up playing? Here, if I can take Oko, I'd be pretty happy. Obviously, Oko's a pretty nice answer to the Needle. You played 5-color humans. Did you play Rick? They're gonna force that. Okay. Interesting. I'm just gonna 6 this turn just for time constraint as well. Six fours are a really nice finish. I think humans is a really nice deck. Got a lot of answers to different things, which is great. Okay. They have 2 cards left. They're gonna create a food. Here, I'm probably happy to take the... This is actually quite interesting. So crop rotate could get them a wasteland if they really wanted to, but I'm probably not in a position where if they crop for wasteland, Oko the Needle and wasteland me, I'm not too unhappy because my Urborg is also in hand, so I think you gotta take the Brainstorm. But yeah, obviously getting a little bit punished for keeping that 1-lander. Hexmage is also a pretty nice answer to Oko if needed. Yeah, finding rigs would be a hard one. If I knew you were playing them, sorry, I definitely would have lent them out. Alright. 2 cards in hand, 1 is crop rotation. No creature. Okay. Depths. Interesting. Now this is pretty interesting. So we know they have crop rotation. So if I play Hexmage and pass, they could Oko the Needle, but then we could activate Hexmage in response to the crop. But then they could also have Karakas in the deck, which I didn't really think about. I'm definitely playing the Depths, and I think I'm definitely playing the Hexmage to be honest. Even if I can trade with the Oko, I'd be happy. Okay. So 1 unknown. The fetch makes me think it's Ponder. Interesting that they're going after the Hexmage here. I wonder if I play it slow here. This makes me think they do have Karakas in the sideboard as part of a crop rotation package. So I am going to trade with the Oko here. To get it off the field. Really need a green source. Ah, okay. Happy to decay this. Just to get the pressure off the field. Another crop. That's interesting. We are playing Ghost Quarter, so I can go for Dark Depths first and kind of see if I can bait the first one. Hey Nightjay, thanks for the stay hydrated. I will definitely drink to that. A huge thank you. I kind of want to get rid of this Urborg right now, so I am going to try to crop away Urborg. I'm happy to kind of throw away now to bait the crop rotation, just so I know what the crop rotation is going to be turning into. Because if it is a Karakas, that's more than fun. We have the second crop rotation to go find Ghost Quarter or something. Yeah, it's really nice. So fortunately, we have a situation where you can have Thespian Stage, Dark Depths, and Urborg, and the Urborg allows you to actually activate the that ability a little bit of a turn earlier, which is nice. Duress is interesting. 3 cards for my opponent. Could just be a Force of Vigor, a Force of Negation. Yeah, that's fine. Just gonna get the stage. This means next turn I can Ghost Quarter the Caracas in end step. My opponent having no creatures is pretty brutal because I'm currently on 5, and even a Tarmogoyf would be probably lethal in 1 threat. So yeah, the plan here is we have the combo in these 3, and then Bayou can allow us to Ghost Quarter the Caracas. I'd love to see them tap out for something. Like an Arcanist is more than fine. I can also play around Submerge here by getting rid of the Bayou. We can go and get Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter Caracas. They don't have any basics, so they shouldn't be able to search for anything. I'm gonna float 1. Maybe they have Brazen Burrower. Maybe I should have done it in the end of main phase. I guess they do have a basic. I did not expect that. I'm still gonna go for it. Yeah, the basic's really interesting. Okay, they just didn't have anything, thankfully. So luckily we get there, but yeah, maybe there's a consideration there to actually use the Caracas in the end of second main. So even if they float mana, they couldn't use it for something like Brazen Borrower in our end step. So a slight misplay, but luckily it turns out okay. Hey, Walked. Yeah, that's fair enough. It seems pretty tough, especially not having an answer to the needle straight up. Like if I can needle Wasteland and Oko, and then also have like a nice answer for Caracas, then it's looking pretty good. But pretty unfortunate there for you to not have a threat. You had the Oko, but otherwise you didn't really have anything to pressure us with. Which those bolts, alongside those bolts, would have been really nice. Ah, it was Rug Waterfalls? Okay, interesting. So that is a version of Rug that plays I'm assuming it plays Ancestral Visions, and then also the one that makes the Rhinos, the 4/4s. Hey Gav, welcome. Hope you're well. Yeah, 4 lands after you draw after I took the Brainstorm is pretty rough. This is going to be a mull. These 2 lands are what I want in the deck, not to start with, and to be on the play with a tap land is not that great. This is nice. This is nice. Turn 2 Hexmage with Knotted Sword backup, and then if I need it, I have Crop. I'll keep this and put back the step. And then just go with Urborg Pass. There is a world where I lead with Bayou and just use it to crop into either one of these so that Wasteland doesn't just get me. No, I'm overthinking because we can just lead on Urborg here, and even if it gets Wastelanded, this Bayou is representing a second copy with the crop rotation. So we're all good. We're all good. What are we up against? Oh, this could be humans. Yeah. You only know that from the guy that plays Eldrazi locally? Okay. I guess we don't even have to play around. I guess we have to play around Wasteland, but not Caracas because of the Not of This World. Unless they play Thalia first. If they go Thalia Caracas, we then can't cast the Not of This World. But I think it's just worth going for it here. Hexmage. Sack now to play around Wasteland, which is usually a 4 of in humans, whereas Caracas is usually maybe a 2 of. So I'm pretty happy just to, yeah, sack now. Even something like Reflector Mage I'm not too unhappy about because of the Not of This World. I guess another thing that would get me is Kite Sail Freebooter into Caracas. Okay. Reflector Mage isn't too bad either. That's okay. We thankfully have this bad boy. Haha. Yeah, thankfully the None of This World is really nice against Reflector Mage as well. Oh, that's hilarious. That can definitely happen sometimes, especially with cards like that. Drawing the step you're gonna crop for after you've veiled is pretty funny. Humans. I'm gonna assume it's pretty similar. We don't sideboard too much. Humans is Safekeeper. Okay, Safekeeper makes a lot of sense. In for 3 Safekeeper, in for 2 Decay. And then what are we taking out? We're taking out 2 Duress, a Bog, and 2 Elvish Spirit Guide. 2 Elvish Spirit Guide, 2 Duress, and a Bajuka Bog. Nice and clean. For anyone wanting to look at the sideboard guide that Tom Hepp currently has, you can find it here in chat. That's probably it. I don't think I want to go too hard into hating out Abrupt Decay. Sorry, Aether Vial with like Collector U for Force. Pretty happy just with this, so we'll see how this goes. Deck feeling really nice. Huge fan of Turbo Depths. It just gets there sometimes. And you can mulligan pretty aggressively with, you know, Hexmage, Depths, Urborg, just being 3 cards that you want. Coming from Legacy Pit, glad stream, better from EU. Hey Roberts, thanks for the follow, and thanks for coming in. I am well, thank you. How are you? How was your weekend? Did you play any Eternal Weekend? This is an interesting one. It does have the combo, but it's a little bit slow. There's no fast mana. I could lead on the Verdant, so I could have Crop Rotation up. I then also have Sylvan Scrying for Step, which isn't too bad. So I'm gonna keep this and hope that they might have kept a slow 7 based on the combo as well. But Humans isn't a matchup that I've played too much, and maybe it's a version where, or a matchup where I would just want to be faster. I got a Tabby. Okay, Eternal Weekend, Tabernacle up here. Very cool. Big congrats. Yeah, just a pass from my opponent. Pretty happy for this. Okay, that's nice. Verdant pass. Playing it a turn slower here means I can always hold up Crop Rotation. Unless they play Thalia, which we have the Caracas for anyway. I guess Meddling Mage might be a creature that I have to be concerned about. Kite Sail Freebooter isn't too bad. I'm just going to let this resolve. I guess if they don't take the crop and we draw into Hexmage, we also have the Dark Depths combo because we can crop away for an Urborg. Play Hexmage, play Dark Depths. Play Dark Depths, play Hexmage. Opponent is probably going to take the crop. I think just being instant speed is probably the outlier, but yeah. I could also see them taking Not of This World, but seeing I have Sylvan Scrying and crop for Sajiri Step, it's probably a little less needed. I'm not going to fetch here. Needle. Okay. Needle is an interesting one because I either want to name Wasteland or Caracas. I guess because we have the Not of This World, I'm probably happy going for Caracas. Let's quickly get up a I'm gonna quickly look at Eddie. So Eddie Zamora is obviously a humans player. Probably one of the most well known. And here is a version of their deck. So I'm probably looking out for maybe Deputy of Detention out of the board as just a way to deal with Aether Vial. So yeah, most decks playing the Wastelands and the Caracases, but because we have the Not of This World, I'm probably less scared of the Caracas. So I'm just going to go for Thespian Stage here and name Wasteland with this Pithing Needle. We also still have Ghost Quarter to Sylvan Scrying for if we want another way to deal with Caracas. Who is Eddie Zamora? Eddie is a really well-known Legacy Humans player. Has a lot of really good finishes. I believe wrote some, I'm going to say a primer on the deck, which is very cool to see. Another Kite Sail, okay. Yeah, I would say, yeah, very close to just being the guy who made the deck, which is very cool. Allayed Vial isn't too bad here either. So if you want to find, yeah, Eddie, you can find him here. Really nice guy. Always up for questions and like talking about the deck, which is awesome. There's Hexmage. Huh. I wonder if the play here is Caracas, and then we can copy Bayou with the Thespian Stage next turn, or in their turn, to then play the Hexmage next turn off the these two. I could have cropped in response. That's actually very true. Yeah, crop getting Urborg is pretty nice. Silent Clearing. I feel like they're going to cash in these two at some point over the next couple of turns. Because Humans is definitely a deck. Once you have Vial out, they can function off 2 mana. General. This is going to be fine. So I could save 2 damage here by returning the General, or keeping it so I can actually use the Thespian Stage this turn. I'm probably more so going for the Thespian Stage this turn. I'm gonna just go for a Bayou so I have access to all colors. Copy the Bayou. Decay is pretty nice. Decay is interesting. Pith Needle's on Wasteland, so I don't think I really have to use the Hexmage at any point here. If they're sacking the Canopy here, I'm pretty happy. Yeah. Digging a little bit, perhaps. Oh, we got a cool play. We need 1 more mana. Because we can decay the Kite Sail Freebooter here. And then crop rotate. Yeah, this is fine. So if we draw a colored source, we can decay the Freebooter and then we can use the crop rotation to go get step and get through this this guy's self-rebooter. So I do want to use the Caracas here on Thalia. I guess it's a little bit annoying with the Vial, but that's probably okay. Boom, there it is. So let's go get Bayou. Okay, this one. Then we get crop, and we can crop, give pro black, and swing in. Yeah, nice. There we go. There we go. You gotta have faith. You gotta have faith, and sometimes you just you get there. Nice. Always a nice way to start the stream. All right, back in it. All right. Actually, one sec. I'm gonna get a beer. It's a Monday night. Let's be honest. I'll be right back. Nice. Yes, the crop does get through both blockers, but I need to kill one to get the crop back to be able to cast it. Nice. Cheers all, happy Monday. Again, a Colonial Pale Ale, one of the finest. Oh, cheers. Cheers, I'm Giffy. But yeah, nice little clean sweeps against two Wasteland decks, which is pretty nice. We have had Needle, and I think Needle against those decks is huge, so that's pretty good. Hey Damo, welcome. Hope you're well, hope you had a nice weekend. Hope you're having a beer as well. On the play, we'll take it. So close. Sadly, just like a mana away. So I'm gonna mulligan this. This is closer. But it doesn't have green mana, which is a little bit weird. I could drop the second scrying. Turn 1 Duress, turn 2 Thoughtseize, or turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Duress. I don't mind this. So we go turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Urborg Duress, and then turn 3 hopefully draw either Dark Depths or a green source. I'm going to keep this in bottom 1 Sylvan Scrying. Opponent also on 7. Elves, okay. Elves is going to be an interesting one. In my experience, being on the play is a huge upside because Elves can combo pretty quickly. especially when the player knows you're on this deck. I think it's the Wywood here. If I take a Green Suns, they probably use the other one, and then the Duress is irrelevant. So I kind of want to keep the Green Suns in the hand, so even if they use one, the Duress is still online. So I think it's just going to be the Wywood here, because at least the Nettle Sentinel is blocked by the Hex Mage pretty badly. So I think Wywood is fine. Foothills. Snackerwood Forest. Okay. Nettle. Okay. I mean, we could just drill Dark Depths here and get it. Sometimes it just works out. I can't, you know. And I think we can just pass here. Hey Mozza, I'm really enjoying Maverick, but I'm also enjoying Turbo Depths. So it's nice to be able to mix up the week with both parts. Unbelievable, I know. The depths of the top was pretty nice. Virtual Ranges is going to be interesting. Okay. Oh, Allosaurus Shepherd. Yep. That's 3 mana. I guess it's 4 mana with Cradle here, which means they can Green Suns for maybe an Archon. Oh no, I thought they had Natural Order. Sorry. They're gonna Green Suns for 2. Okay. Maybe for maybe for Scavenging Ooze? And then eat the Wywood to go to 20? No, that doesn't do it either. They're gonna draw a card. Okay. What are their outs now? You have 2 mana now? They've already played a land. Hopefully, I think this is just game. Green Suns for 1 is more than fine here. There's nothing I have to do. Even Allosaurus. Even Elvish Spirit Guide. Sorry, even Elvish Reclaimer is too slow. So I think we can just, yeah, let this go. Wood. Okay. Just gonna do this now. Yeah, nice. Okay. Interesting one. Elves is going to be pretty quick. Going back to Hep's sideboard. Elves will be up this way, I believe. There we go. Yeah, just the 2 decays and then Caracas and Bog out, which makes a lot of sense. Caracas and Bob not really doing a whole lot here, and at least Abrupt Decay gives us some amount of interaction. Hey Ravenous Pounder, this is actually Tom Hep's sideboard. So this is Tom Hep's free sideboard for Turbo Depths, which is really nice. Put a lot of work into it. He and Jonathan, I always forget the name, but I'll quickly find it. Jonathan Zukenik. This is a really good watch. If anyone is looking for some really good content on sideboarding for Legacy, and especially this is these two players going through it. Pro Tour player and Tom Hep, of course, probably the best Turbo Depths player around, which is really, really good. So definitely check that out if you can. We've made our changes. Trap's an interesting one, but I feel like the card itself is a bit of a trap. I don't think it is, but they do combo faster than us usually, so it's an interesting one. It'd probably be something like Needle and Knot instead of the traps. So in Tom's current sideboard, he plays Veil of Summer over Mindbreak Trap. So Mindbreak Trap isn't considered for Elves because it's not actually in the sideboard. But I wouldn't mind trying it. Yeah, Trap can counter through Shepherd. That's a really good point to bring up, Muzzle Ball, because it exiles any number of spells. So it also plays around Veil of Summer against Storm decks because it's not countering the spell, it's exiling it, which is really nice. I'm gonna see how it goes. I think especially on the draw, where I do have to be a little bit more defensive, is okay. This is an interesting hand. I don't mind it. We have turn 1 Duress, turn 2 Decay, and then if we want, we can either turn 3 Hexmage or Scrying. So I'm going to keep this. Ghost Quarter on Cradle could also be a pretty big play if they do try to come out of the gates with all cylinders firing. Could also Thoughtseize us. Yeah, okay. Probably taking one of these. Oh, taking the Hexmage is interesting. Reclaimer. I think Duress is here on the off chance that they have a Green Suns. Or a Glimpse. Okay. Now we have to do some thinking. So next turn, if they don't draw a land... Wow, okay. This is actually a really interesting hand. I think because they're all... So they're currently looking for lands off the top, but they're also looking for creatures to try to get a Glimpse chain going. And I think taking Green Suns here accomplishes kind of stifling both of those routes, because Green Suns can go and get Dried Arbor, or it can also, yeah, which is a land or a creature. So as scary as a Glimpse and a Natural Order are, I think we can beat a Progenitus, even with our slow opening hand. So I'm pretty happy to take the Green Suns here. But this is an interesting one. I'm going to take a quick pick. Take Elves. I think it's the Green Suns. I'm pretty happy to take the Green Suns here. And this is the hand. It looks like... Okay, they're going to Glimpse first, and then play Birchler. And draw a card. Okay. So they pretty much replace the Glimpse with one other card, which isn't too bad. Another Scrying. So now the question is, do I want to take a turn off getting my combo online by going for Sylvan Scrying here? Or do I want to decay the Birchlaw? I have 3 cards. I guess if they have Creature Cradle, that allows them to achieve 4 mana. Creature, and then 2 of Cradle, 1 and 1. I think you scry this turn so you can cast a 2-drop next turn if needed. Yeah, the only issue is that if I want to scrying this turn, if I want to play Thespian Stage, Dark Depths, or even Ghost Quarter next turn, I can't cast both Abrupt Decay and the Elvish Reclaimer. Yeah, I kind of think taking them off the creature as well, because it takes them off Cradle being a mana source. It takes them off a mana source here. So I think this is okay. And I guess the best part is for waiting as well, is that if I draw one piece of the combo, I then have more information about what I should do with the Sylvan Scrying. So I don't mind just going for another Bayou and decaying Burchell here. But it's an interesting one. Hey D5, welcome. Hope you're well. Four cards. I think land creature is the best for my opponent, but I don't think it's land creature. It is a creature. And a Zenith, okay. That's pretty good. This is where Mindbreak Trap would be a pretty bad draw. Oh, there's Depths, okay. Okay, so let's quickly... we play Thespian Stage, pass, they get Progenitus. Pass, we play Depths, pass, we take a hit, but then we have the Dark Depths combo up. I guess the only thing that kills us is Cradle into Natural Order for Hoof, and they attack with everything. But I think I just have to play around that. Hey, PVT Enormous, thanks for the raid. Let me know what you just played. A huge thank you. Anyone coming in from PVT stream? My name is Dukes on Twitch. I stream Legacy Maverick. This time it's Turbo Depths. We're currently up against Elves in game 2. We got up game 1. But this is an interesting decision if we want to go for a stage here. I guess we don't really have another choice. We kind of just have to go for them. Trophy does also kill us. I think it is just Sylvan Scrying stage, play stage. I guess I could also play Depths. Why would I play Depths? Hey Gizlo. Pretty good. So if I play Depths, I can draw into Hexmage and have a creature. Either way, it's pretty good. I guess there's no other land that I really want to play. I don't think I want to Ghost Quarter Dryad because it just puts me off. It puts me back another turn. And they're usually playing 2 basics. Because if I Ghost Quarter Dryad, next turn if they go off with Progenitus, I then untap, play 1 piece. They swing for 10. I untap, play 1 piece. They swing for 10, so I'm dead. So I kind of just have to race them, unfortunately, and just hope they don't have Cradle into Hoof here and just win this turn. Oh wow, okay. This I didn't expect. There's the Hexmage. That's actually pretty nice. Because I know about the decay. So now they're kind of at a stalemate, which is really nice here because if they don't trophy me before I untap, I get the upside of being able to go Hexmage on Dark Depths. Does it resolve? And then if not, I can then go for trophy. They're going to decay now, which is really interesting. I'm going to make Depths now because we have the backup Sylvan Scrying. So we just know about natural order in hand. 2 cards. I guess one could be crop. Yeah, one could be crop rotation. But I don't think it is. Opponent having a bit of a think. I don't think they're at a life total either where Scavenging Ooze is an out. I guess they could get Archon for a blocker. Or is Hoof here? Hoof surely isn't lethal. Sack the Dryad, that's fine. Progenitus is fine. Doesn't have reach. They have 1 card left? I think their only out was maybe get Archon, but then we have the Sylvan Scrying, so they have to name Sorcery with Archon, block for a turn, and then hope to draw into Caracas or Crop Rotation if they're playing it. Nice, okay. The old 3060. Deck just really performing as well. I mean, there are some key decisions to be made, especially when to go for it and when not to go for it, but a lot of the time this deck is just so nice and really consistent that allows you just to do pretty good. Hey El Dorte, welcome. Hope you're well. You're playing 4-color Uro Pile in Modern. Interesting. I used to play Modern a fair while ago. I do have humans, which is pretty well positioned. I saw that Death and Taxes is actually kind of coming back, especially since Skyclave Apparition is back in the format, or in the format. I played Blue Moon as well, but that was before Hogak and Arclight Phoenix, when the deck kind of changed over to obviously a more aggressive deck, and kind of has just transitioned into Blue-Red Prowess, which is pretty good as well. But yeah, Uro in Modern seems pretty good. I guess you don't have Caracas, but you do have Path to Exile, and a few other ways to deal with it. How did I do it in Eternal Weekend? I went 6-4. So I was happy with it. I was 0-2, and then we just clawed back. But yeah, just some unfortunate things, but it can happen sometimes. I feel like we've been on the play all these games as well, which definitely helps. This is pretty nice. Oh, Yorion. Okay, so they're going to be a pretty slow deck. I don't mind this. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to lead on Urborg, because then we still have Hexmage to draw into on turn 2. I haven't played Skyclave in Maverick, but I know that Matt Sol played 3, I believe, in the main deck of a green-white deck and went 5-0, which is really cool. But otherwise, yeah, I haven't seen it. Well, Thoughtseize is actually quite nice. Do I Thoughtseize first, or do I play a land? I could play around Days, but maybe the information from Thoughtseize gives me more information about what I actually want to play out. Yeah, Skyclave seems really cool to play with. I'm going to Thoughtseize first. I probably don't mind if it gets Dazed. If my opponent wants to go back on a land, then that's more than fine. Okay, Swords is right now the only answer. Yeah. I'll take Swords. I'll play Stage. And then next time we get Dark Depths. I could also play Dark Depths here, because if I draw into Vampire Hexmage, we can then play the Snow-Covered Forest for turn, which leads open Crop Rotation as well if we need it. So I'm going to go for Dark Depths here. PV, what is 4-color Uropile like in Modern? How is it positioned? Is it in a position where it's just so much value that it's always gonna be well positioned, or are there any matchups which are quite hard to deal with? All right, there's Volk, and there's Brainstorm. Okay. So one thing I want to do here is that if I don't turn into Hexmage and I want to go for the stage kill next turn, I should definitely respond to the Monastery Mentor if they're going to tap out for it. Because if I try to do it after, I guess it doesn't matter. I was going to think of Force of Will, but that doesn't matter. Abundant Growth, okay. Okay. I'm going to play the combo out here because it stops my opponent from being able to tap out. And then we get a turn to actually play the Snow-Covered Forest. Has a fragile mana base. Yeah, I assume the... with no Astrolabe in the format, it's a little bit tough. Let's not go so far and call D&T Tier 1. I have seen it perform really well online. I'll say that. And it is a deck that I entered Modern with Green-White Hate Bears and then played Death and Taxes for a little bit. But it just does seem pretty cool. 2 cards on the bottom with the Scry is a pretty appealing play for us. I probably don't mind going for it here as well because we already have a Dark Depths and the other piece in play. Hey, Luca Boring, 6 months is very cool. A huge thank you. I believe you will now have access to your new... Brainstorm. Oh, maybe they have Terminus. Terminus would suck. Or maybe not. They should definitely do something before I play this Snow-Covered Forest so I can't crop rotation. But yeah, Luca Boring, hope you're well. Hope you had a nice weekend. 6 months is very cool. A huge thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Oh, do we? Ah, okay. Hey, thank you very much. It's fun content. They do have the swords. Can't do anything here, that's fine. Take it on the chin. Buy you. I'm gonna play the Dark Depths and pass, and then keep the crop rotation for later. I think that's okay. This is much better if I drew into Hexmage as well. This is a matchup where I definitely like Sylvan Library because of the life gain from Swords to Plowshares. The Shadow deck is pretty cool. Yeah, Shadow deck looks really fun. Hey, XL-Son, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. You're from Sweden and play Turbo Depths in Legacy? Very cool. Sweden is a beautiful country, so congratulations. And yeah, Turbo Depths is a really nice deck. Where yeah, currently the first 3 games were really nice. We played against Rug Delver, Humans, and Elves. Okay. This food is actually really interesting because it puts them above 20 life. Oh, Needle's actually pretty good. But is it worth taking a turn off? This is actually quite interesting. Episode 25, thank you very much. I will stay hydrated on both water and beer. That's a lot of hydration. Okay. And one more. Thank you. Oof. Okay. What's today's beer? It is a Colonial Pale Ale. Quite nice. From Western Australia, I believe. I think the Oko is going to get a little out of hand, so I am going to name Oko here with a needle. I'm going to do it off the depths. I'm also going to play the Forest first, just in case they have Spell Pierce. I could also name the food, which is interesting. But I think the Oko is probably more relevant. This is actually a tough one. Maybe I name the food. Oh, I can't because it's a token. That like you can't actually name food. So yeah, that makes sense. It's gonna be Oko. Goddamn food. Yeah, food is not a card, so that's that was me just thinking and then thankfully getting it before chat got it. It doesn't work with Clue either. It's very true. Yeah, that does invalidate the play. I apologize. This is going to be an interesting match. It looks like it's going to go long, which probably favors them. If they play a Mentor, I probably want to crop in response to the Mentor, in case they also have Force of Will, and then get a token off the crop rotation as well. You can't Ruined Halo Merit Lage? Interesting, okay. What if you say Kebab and they have Kairos? Yeah, that's a tough one as well. I'm not too sure what would happen there. I'd have to call a judge over, I believe. Oh, they put Yorion on hand. Okay. That's interesting. I don't think I crop here. I probably just go for... We could play around Force Negation, but I can also just crop in their turn anyway. So I like not cropping, because if I draw into a Thespian stage, then I can use the crop for something like Bajuka Bog. They have like Snapcaster Mage. Always. Sometimes. There is a god, yeah. The top decks. Oh, there's okay. So they're gonna get back Swords to Plowshares, so this is probably a good spot to crop rotate. Counterspell. Okay. That's fine. Didn't play around Counterspell. I haven't seen too much Counterspell lately, so I guess that's fair. Opponent having a good think. Oh, that is passing. Okay. Here, I kind of like going for Snow-Covered Forest with the Thespian stage. Dress. Needle, okay. That's an interesting one. What else do I have to be afraid of? Maybe Caracas? I assume this deck would be playing Caracas because they're probably playing Uro. I think Caracas is a fine name. Maybe also Teferi, Time Raveler. I sadly only got to play in one Eternal Weekend because I got the time of the wrong one, of the next one wrong. I thought it was going to be on at 5 p.m. on our Sunday afternoon, but it was actually 4 a.m. the following morning on a Monday morning, which kind of sucks because it's a work day, but that is fine. I think Teferi Time Raveler here is fine. It seems like a type of card that would be in this deck. It also means they can't like play it, bounce this needle. Another counter spell. Okay, that's fair. This is where my opponent's in a great spot because they can probably cast Yorion here, draw at least 2 cards, and then also have mana up for Sorted Plowshares in hand. I guess we can draw into like a Thoughtseize. That'd be kind of nice. For a hand disruption effect. Sajiri Step. Not what I want to draw because I really want to end the deck. And there's Teferi, so a good name at least. They ticked up as well, which is really interesting. No, they didn't. Okay, yeah, there we go. So now also just getting above to 20 life is pretty rough. At least we can take some time here, and also to see some other cards in our opponent's deck. Opponent probably just getting a blue source here so they can force a negation. Or just counter spell, put that on top. So at least looking at the sideboard, I'm gonna put this down to Snow. So a few cards. Safekeeper's great, Abrupt Decay, Sylvan Library, Surgical. We don't have Veil, but that should be okay. I'm also going to make the 2020 here just to gain some life off their Sorted Plowshares. I just want to gain life in case they draw into another way to deal with the Merit Lage. I think I'm a little bit past drawing a discard spell to get out of this. I think what I can do is take some time with my opponent's clock, because it looks like they're using most of their walkers before they're attacking. So if they want to think, you know, cast things like Uro, I'm not really concerned. Because at least now I definitely know that this is a Uro deck. I know that this is a Jace deck, which does give me more information about the deck, which is nice. Instead of just conceding and only seeing like maybe Oko or Oko and Teferi. And there might actually be a position where I can actually attack and then just main phase step to get through like an Ice Fang. It's gonna be a tough deck to fight against. I assume they probably bring in something like Veil of Summer, so I'm not too sure how good hand disruption is going to be. It is going to be really nice, but if it does get veiled, it's always going to feel a little bit bad. This is fine. I feel like I'm getting Fate Sealed by Jay, so I probably want to fetch in my upkeep. Alright. Unfortunately, just the Swords to Plowshares is pretty tough to beat. Especially if we... I guess I could have played it a little bit more conservative and actually waited to have Crop Rotation up, but this is actually going to be interesting. So these are great. Tom usually takes out 1 Caracas, 2 Petal, 3 Needle, and 2 Elvish Spirit Guide. I guess the needles are less needed if you have the Sylvan Safekeepers, which is kind of nice. This looks pretty good. Nothing here that I want, so I'm happy just to go for this. Yeah, Surgical's great for Swords to Plowshares. You just have to be wary of Mystic Sanctuary, so fetching in response and putting it on top and fizzling the Surgical. And then it's probably also good against an early Uro, just to make sure they can't get it back and start really getting out of hand. A bit of a rough one. So Dark Depths and just a Spirit Guide as mana. I'm gonna mulligan this. This is interesting. It's 1 piece and 2 interactive spells. I don't mind this. I'm gonna keep this and I'm gonna bottom the step. I'm gonna I'm just gonna Duress first and then Thoughtseize after. Take Ponder, that is fine. And then we have Thoughtseize for the Ice Fang or Snap. Misty. Oh, okay. That's pretty nice. I think Safekeeper here is fine. I could also take the Ice Fang. Maybe that's better. Ice Fang's just annoying because it also draws them a card. I am going to Thoughtseize. Yeah, I think taking Ice Fang is pretty nice. They drew an Oko, but that's probably okay. So the Sylvan Safekeeper is a way for us to protect against the Oko, but not if they if they hit the Safekeeper itself. So the Ice Fang, at least, you know, another Crop Rotation or an Abrupt Decay doesn't really care about it. But the Oko is a little bit rough because we only have 1 Needle left in the deck. And Oko creating a food gives them the opportunity to go above 20 life as well. This is an interesting one. I think it's the Oko, because the Ice Fang is only chumping, whereas the Oko is an actual answer to the Safekeeper and the 2020. So I'm going to take the Oko based on that. Verdant's nice because it means I can crop if I really need to. So now we'll most likely see Fetch into Ice Fang. And then at least if they tap out for Snapcast into Ponder, I can Crop Rotate in response to them targeting the Ponder with Crop Rotation. Because I'm not too scared of losing a land here. We have the Ghost Quarter to also activate it, which is nice. I'm gonna use the crop here. Go get Dark Depths. Urborg's really nice. No white mana for my opponent either. From the Ashes is interesting. Yeah, this is really interesting. Target this. Keep this one. And then we can go destroy all non-basic lands. Each player, for each land destroyed this way, its controller may search their library for a basic land and put it into their onto the battlefield. Okay. So I can give pro here with the Urborg and then lose one Bayou. Yeah. And then I'll stack this Bayou to go and get the other basic. I guess that's a reason not to crop away, not to get the snow-covered forest and crop it away. I should have got the other Bayou. If they swords the safekeeper here, oh, Petal's actually, Petal does nothing. I guess there's a world where I could attack with both. Oh, I can move the stack, yeah. Swords of Plowshares. Apologies. What can they have? Like another Ice Fang? They have Snap into Swords to Plowshares. There goes their blue source. They need another blue source now. What does the Ponder do? Please shuffle. Chose to shuffle. Okay, that's great for us. Pony having a good think. From the Ashes was very cool. I was playing more around back to basics. Alright, do we get to draw a land? A land would be great. Sylvan Scrying. That's actually interesting. Oh, because now we get to go... see if this resolves. Because I can go and get Step, which kind of gives double protection, thanks to Safekeeper. this might cause them to actually make the move here. We can't beat double swords, because we know about Snapcaster Mage, so one more sword would be brutal. Yeah, nice. Okay, game 3. Whew. Stressful, I will say. I don't mind another needle just because of Oko. So if I am bringing in 2 needles, I'm bringing in the best art. I do like all of this. Scrying is interesting. It's a little bit slow, but it is like finding the combo. It might be a Not of This World, because it kind of does the same thing. I'm bringing in Needle to name Oko so it can't target the Lage, and Not of This World does that as well. Not of This World also not that great against a deck with Teferi in it, because you can't cast it in your opponent's turn, so I think that's okay. Hopefully. Tom, please don't please don't come after me. But yeah, I think, you know, if I can have some early disruption with hand disruption, at least one piece of the combo, and then hopefully find the other one in a quick fashion time, then I'm gonna do okay. Opponent taking a mulligan would also help. Obviously not something that I would wish on any opponent, but you know, mulligans definitely help in this sort of matchup. Especially if my opponent is aggressively mulliganing to something like Swords to Plowshares. Alright. This is an interesting hand that I think I'm okay with. It has one half of the combo. My opponent mulliganed to 6. I'm gonna keep this. We have great mana as well, which is really nice. It would be nice to have hand disruption, but I think this is a pretty nice hand, because it also has a small secondary win condition of just beats, which probably isn't the best thing to say against a deck with Ice Fangs and, you know, Uros and creatures that are usually bigger, but see how this ends up. Alright, so they kept 6. Astrolabe. Alright. Another Hex Mage. I'm playing the Safekeeper as a little bit of bait, because if I can Surgical and early Swords to Plowshares, it's kind of doing the same thing that Safekeeper would be doing. Alright, at least we get to attack into this. This is where back to basics would be really scary. But hopefully they don't have it. Uru is actually not too bad. I don't think I want to spend a surgical on it just yet. My opponent also had no land to put in, which is really interesting. Why do we play Surgical in this matchup? Mainly because of just how good Swords to Plowshares is, and to some extent also Uro. Having some sort of interaction with that game plan can be really strong. And Surgical can just, yeah, really nullify the power of Swords to Plowshares because of cards like Snapcaster Mage and Mystic Sanctuary. So they usually get multiple uses out of even just the one matchup. Oh, and also, here's a cool play. So there's Surgically our Hex Mage here, which would take these two in hand. But what we can do is actually Surgical our own Hex Mage in response. Remove this one from the graveyard, but remove no others. And then their Surgical will fizzle, and we won't lose our Hex Mages. which is pretty sweet, but they actually have a force. Okay, so now the backup is to crop rotate into a Bajuka Bog. And bog us. That's pretty funny. Yeah, this is worth taking out. Crazy. Oh, there's another one named Surgical. That's classic. So this happens. The force happens. All right, we get to keep our Hex Mages. That's the big thing. Why not get Dark Depths? That's actually a great question, and I think that's really just tunnel vision. Legacy Council. I hope you're well as well. But yeah, that's 100% correct. I think that going for Dark Depths there would have been much better. Yeah, definitely go for the combo. Yeah, we did bait really nicely. Hopefully that isn't just it. See what this Ponder does. Really hope it's a shuffle, but usually if they're waiting this long, it's not going to be a shuffle. Yeah, the Uro might be an issue. Hey Joanne, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. We need Invigorate. Yeah, I don't think we're getting Invigorate. Opponent also down to five minutes, so this is going to be interesting if we can't answer the Uro and if it's going to take them. They chose not to shuffle. Reclaimer. Reclaimer is interesting. I feel like Reclaimer is a little bit better than the Hex Mages because it gets us to Dark Depths faster. I'm casting this main phase 1 so that if they counter it, we can then attack with the Sylvan Safekeepers, but I don't want to attack with these now because of Icefang Quaddle. You don't play Legacy, but if you did, you'd go with Khan shenanigans? Okay, that's fair enough. I do want to keep this, so I'm going to sack the Bog. Do I care about it? I think I do. It's tough because how good is the Reclaimer if I only have the Bayou and the Thespian stage? I have to draw a land. I feel like I just let this resolve. Unfortunately, I think if I sack a land to the Reclaimer, then I'm just in a position where I don't have the resources to actually use it effectively. Another stage. Yeah, I guess in hindsight, if we draw a land, it's obviously better, but maybe that was our only way of winning this game. I guess there's a lot of good draws here. Yeah, sacking stage is tough because then you're down both sides of the combo. I guess then you have Hex Mage and Dark Depths. Uruhit is so strong. I believe Elves actually won the third Eternal Weekend, which is cool. So I believe it was 5 colors or 4 colors Snow, D&T, and Elves. Fail. Yep. I think I just have to chump here, unfortunately. Just in case they like Dead of Winter next turn. I guess it hits their own Uro, but I'm probably okay with just the 1 Safekeeper. I'm just going to sack the fetch land. Yeah, maybe that fight over the surgical was incorrect. Oh, we know they have the Veil, but they didn't draw it. I guess if they have Brainstorm as well. Or do they do it in their upkeep? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. To save on them making the Astrolabe a creature, I'm going to hit the Oko here. They don't have the Veil, which is nice. But yeah, the fight over Surgical really got me. Yorion's pretty huge here as well. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I should have gone for the combo when I had that crop, but I just didn't, and that was it. But yeah, just tunnel vision, and I've definitely said I've had that issue before where I kind of get tunneled into one issue and I don't even think about what my other options are. And yeah, in that case, I definitely could have gone for the Dark Depths and had the win. But unfortunately, it just happens sometimes, and that is magic. But at least we're 3-1, so we can hopefully finish this off as a 4-1, which would be pretty nice. Yeah, it seemed like a pretty nice nice tournament. I played against a bunch of Rugdelver. I think I played 5 out of 10 was Rugdelver. And then played against lands, Death and Taxes, a few others. What else was there? Yeah. It was a pretty wide metagame, which was nice. Obviously a lot of Delver, but I think any player who just wants to get into the format and learn is going to pick up Delver straight away. And seeing how good Rugdelver is, that, you know, there's a few players who could definitely just pick it up and play it to a pretty good finish. Yeah, combo wasn't played too much, which I definitely boarded a lot for, because Maverick has obviously a pretty fair main deck. You're gonna gotta have it in the sideboard to have at least a game against them in games 2 and 3, but I think we played against combo maybe once. This is an interesting hand. I can cast Duress or Needle turn 1. We have one piece of the combo, and then we have Sylvan Scrying to find the other. We have some pretty good draws as well, and if we really need to, we can also just crop away the Dark Depths for a land like Urborg. I'm going to keep this, especially on the draw. I think it has a little bit too much going for it to throw back. Death and Taxes, okay. Thoughtseize is pretty interesting. I really want to get a Bayou here, but I don't want to open myself up to Wasteland. I could play Needle. Needle and Wasteland and just not care about the Aether Vial. And try to rip the hand apart with the Thoughtseize. I think because our hand just didn't... If we drew a land, it might be different, but I think land here is fine off the Needle. Yeah, I would love to keep up the crop, but I think because of the mana we have, I really have to make use of my mana each turn. Another Vial is actually pretty good for us. Don't really care about that. Stage. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. So what do we think about play Dark Depths and then crop away the Bayou for a Thoughtseize? And then also Duress. I don't mind that. So play Depths. Crop away the Bayou. It does take us off green, but I think that's okay for now. I think double hand disruption here and then Thespian Stage next turn with the combo up is pretty nice. I'm gonna Thoughtseize first. And see if they do anything with Vial. They don't. Okay. I think it's just Skyclave that I care about because it takes away Pithy Needle. Stoneforge just seems a little bit too slow here. Because next turn we get to play Thespian Stage. And have the combo up thanks to Urborg. So I think it's just Skyclave because at least that can turn off Needle. But is that really what I care about? I don't care about Revoker. Skyclave can't deal with the token because it's non-token permanent, which is nice. I can also Duress next turn, but I want to have the combo up as well. I guess if I draw into Petal, that's correct. So I think it's just Apparition here. And then pass. And we know about these 3 cards. I would love for my opponent to activate their Vial end step. I think that's that'd be pretty funny. Which you should do. If I haven't cast hand disruption there, you should definitely activate the vial no matter what. Just a very nice to get used to. And I guess I can't duress the Batterskull if they're just going to put the Aether Vial in, put the Stoneforge in off the Aether Vial in end step. Oh, they're going to do it now. That makes me think they have another 2-drop. So this is quite interesting. I guess Recruiter for Flickerwisp is also something they can draw into. Did they play a land? I feel like they did, because they went turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Vial, land, and then Stoneforge Mystic, yeah. Come on, crop rotation one time. Oh, I want Lotus Petal or Elvish Spirit Guide. Free mana, free mana, free mana, free mana. Free mana, free mana! Always works. And I'm happy just to pass here. I guess there's some... There's some thought to Flickerwisp exiling the land. So maybe an upkeep I actually want to make the stage. No, because then crop rotation doesn't give us protection from Karakas. Yeah, we're okay. I think just end step is fine. Because doing it main phase doesn't play around Karakas, but this does not still do it. Interesting, nothing. Yeah, they're at 20 life. I guess they... Yeah, this is looking pretty good. I guess crop rotation only gives us 1 turn, unless we draw into a... No, we can't even draw into it. So if they have Flickerwisp here, we can crop for step to take care of the trigger, but then we can't untap and scrying for step in the same turn. So they do get another turn if they have a Flickerwisp, even though we have the crop rotation. But pretty lucky. This is an interesting one. Let's go to Tom's list. It's here somewhere. Where you at, Tom? Nice, okay. I assume Pachuca Bog comes out, because that's a pretty nothing card here. Death and taxes. D&T. 3 Safekeeper, 2 Abrupt Decay, 1 Oof, 1 Bog, 2 Petal, 1 Elvish Spirit Guide, 2 Duress. Okay. Duress makes a lot of sense, and so does Bog. Out 2 Petals, we're not going too fast, and out 1 Elvish Spirit Guide. In. Nice. Definitely can't let that last game get to me as well. This is not too bad. Interaction on both sides, and then 1/2 of the combo, which is quite nice. I'm going to keep this. Pretty strong hand. Port into Vial. Okay. This needle's definitely coming down. Especially after a port start, I'm pretty happy to go after that. And if they want to Wasteland Ghost Quarter, that's more than fine. There's definitely some thought to just not caring about Aether Vial, because we do have draws like Collector Oof that do answer it to some extent. But if my opponent went Port into Vial, I assume they kept a pretty land greedy hand. Hey Antis, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what are you playing Legacy? This is fine. Now I'm pretty happy just to get a basic swamp off the Verdant. And probably Inquisition, seeing their current. I mean, they can play a 3-drop next turn, or somehow Vial in a 2-drop if they have an answer to the Needle. Prelate's probably the most effective here, because at least the Thoughtseize can take the path. The Sword is somewhat an issue. They have Krakus Wasteland. I think it's the Prelate. Take that creature, and then just knowing about those cards makes it a lot easier to play against. Whereas Prelate on something like 1 is pretty rough. Yeah, luckily they don't have any other creatures right now, and they can't play the Sword and also put in a creature this turn. This is fine. Quite aggressive, but I guess if they think that's our answer to Karakas, then I can definitely understand it. That's fine. Safekeeper is pretty interesting. I probably just want to take the Sword because it makes all the future creatures that they draw actual threats. I'm going to do that off a Bayou. No, maybe I want the green source. Maybe I'll play the Urborg here because I want to make sure I can have access to this next turn. They drew a Swords to Plowshares. Okay. I'm going to take the Sword because at least we can play around the others. Slowly. Very slowly. And to be fair, the fair beatdown strategy isn't too bad here. It has looked better, but I'm open to anything. They play the Krakus. Okay. Just don't draw like Recruiter of the Guard. Skyclave, that's pretty good. Skyclave's really cool. Skyclave's probably my favorite card after Elvish Reclaimer that's been printed in the past 2 years. It's done a lot for Death and Taxes in both Modern and Legacy, which is great to see, because it is a really cool deck. One nice thing is that if this game goes long, I can actually use the stage to copy the Port to tap down the Karakas before we go off. So that's a small answer, which is quite nice. If they use a removal spell here, I'm probably likely just to save it, sacking the Snow-Covered Swamp. There's currently only 2 basics anyway, so you like the spell lands? Interesting. They are pretty cool. I will give you that. What I'm pretty much saying here is that this Sylvan Safekeeper is more important than the Snow-Covered Swamp. Hey, Enderfinal, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? This is an interesting one, and I think, again, I'm happy to save the Safekeeper because it just does so much for these creatures. And if I can next turn play Reclaimer and then get Depths Online, I then have protection from Karakas thanks to the Safekeeper. So I'm going to protect again, sacking the Urborg. Because I can at least cast the Elvish Reclaimer off the Snow Basic. And now they have no port either, so this works out really nicely. And the Elvish Reclaimer is also really good because we can use it at instant speed, so if they port us, we can use it for mana for the Reclaimer. Spirit Guide is interesting. I am going to cast the Reclaimer, which will be a 3/4 as well, which means I can attack with the Hexmage here. Unless they have Thalia as their last card. I'm probably happy just to pass. I guess if they had Thalia, they would have put it in my upkeep to make sure I couldn't like Sylvan Scrying on my turn. So I think I'm happy to attack here. Ah, you're welcome, Ender. Very cool. What are you beginning Legacy with? If it is Maverick, which I assume it is, what color combination are you going for? Hey, Damo. A huge thank you. Very nice to hear. I hope they fit as well. The hoodie is really... I've heard it's really comfy. Boyd said it's one of the most comfy... one of the most comfy. I'll get there. Jumpers he's actually ever worn, so... Yeah, nice. I went XL, and it's a really nice fit. Alright. This is looking pretty good. Opponent only has one card in hand. If they port here, we can float mana and see what they do. I'm gonna sack the stage and get Dark Depths. Needle. Oh, okay. This is actually an interesting one. Ah, Green White Depths. 2 3/2s and a 4/1. Very nice. The Abzan version is really nice because you also get access to Plague Engineer out of the sideboard. I'll see if they respond here with anything. But I think the answer is Wasteland because we can beat the Karakas with Sylvan Safekeeper. Unless they use Flicker Wisp. Because in response to us targeting Hexmage on Dark Depths, they could Violin Flicker Wisp and flicker out the forest, which then, after the Hexmage resolves and we get the 20/20, we don't have a land to sack to the Safekeeper. So Flicker Wisp is actually a massive play. I think it's just Karakas here, because at least the Karakas we can play around slightly. They have 3 Wastelands left, so they have access to Recruiter and Flicker Wisp, which is pretty interesting. So there's also a world here where I could name Aether Vial, which turns off Flicker Wisp. I think that's just the play that I want to play, because Flicker Wisp is the blowout. They could, but it also makes it pretty hard for me then. If they activate Vial and put something in, then I have all known information, because they only have 1 card in hand. I think it might just be Wasteland. and then just hope they don't have the Flicker Wisp. Hexmage the Vial? Haha. Big brain plays. I like that a lot. No attacks, just in case. Interesting. So he gets a draw here. Yeah, looking at this, they're looking to find a creature. There's the Wasteland, so thankfully that happened pretty well. Unless they still have Flicker Wisp, because then they can flicker out the Piercing Needle. Or they could have another Skyclave Apparition. I think I just have to go for it, but... yeah, they sixed. Wow. So they still have Flicker Wisp? No, okay. Interesting. So close. Just that that little brain fart against Snoko really hurt us. Or else going for the surgical line and then cropping into the combo is just so much better. But I will definitely take a 4-1. This deck was, again, really fun to play. It's really nice because of the fast combo that you do have a fair amount of time to think about your lines. So obviously not trying to slow play, but just making sure that everything you're doing for a reason. And every spell that you have in hand, you kind of know the role of. So something like, is the crop rotation to be aggressive and go for the combo, or is the crop rotation to sandbag for Bojuka Bog or Step, or maybe even Karakas? So it is nice that it is, you know, a deck that you can use your whole 25 minutes in a league to really make sure that, you know, you're playing smooth, all your lines work. And again, I think the loss was really up to me just seeing, oh, my opponent's Surgicaling Hexmage. I have 2 Hexmages in play. I need to surgical my own Hexmage to help here, but having half the combo in play and half the combo under crop rotation, that's a tough one. So definitely can't be unhappy. Some pretty interesting matchups as well, but that'll be one for the viewers. I'll be back on Thursday evening. I'll be playing some Legacy Maverick. I'm also on 90s MTG this week as well. You can find them at twitch.tv/90smtg. They do paper Magic. They do a lot of Eternal formats, and I'll be there on Thursday playing some Legacy, which will be really fun. So I believe that's at 8 p.m. New York time, which is 10 a.m. Thursday Australian time. So that should be really fun. Really looking forward to that. A huge thank you to the new subs and new followers. Also, to you guys that watch my content. I really enjoy having you here. Obviously, the punt was a little bit of an issue, but I hope that's okay. You can also find all my recordings and YouTube videos at my YouTube channel here. You can find me on Twitter here as well, and then of course at thegreensunzenith.com. I'm going to quickly see who else is playing and send you guys over there, because I'm sure we have some other Magic players. Ralph Levy, what's he playing? Arena? Floytrue's playing. Okay, I'm gonna send you guys over to Floytrue. I don't see anyone else on playing Legacy, so hope you guys have a great week. Hopefully see you again on Thursday night. Until then, stay safe, be well, and it's /raid, my bad. There we go. A huge thank you once again. That is me, Dukes on Twitch. See you next time. All the best.
これで9マナやっけ俺ってことは